Welcome to the Missouri History Museum's virtual homeschool day for November 2020. This video is part of our virtual craft room, so if you get an opportunity, please check it out. I want to share some information with you first. I want to respectfully acknowledge that we are standing on the traditional ancestral lands of the Ohlone Confederation, the Missouri, and the Osage Nation. Knowing and acknowledging the history and the land we stand on is a way of honoring and expressing gratitude for the ancestral people who were on this land before us. My name is Ellie, and I am so excited to be celebrating the National American Indian Heritage. You know, when we think about Native Americans, seldom do we think about their culture, like their rituals, clothing, even their traditional recipes. Native Americans have been passing down recipes throughout many generations. And as a matter of fact, there are 562 Native American tribes that live right here in the United States. And you want to know something that they all have in common? Ingredients like corn, squash, onions, cabbage. These ingredients are very important to the Native Americans' diet. So guys, we are going to make a recipe book. A recipe book that I have a couple of samples of. Now, your recipe book doesn't have to exactly look like mine, but since we're honoring Native Americans, I wanted to include one that had some Native American recipes in it, like this one. Also, you don't have to make it a Native American one. I've got a friend next door. And although hers doesn't include ingredients or cooking instructions, she did include some of her favorite foods, like ice cream. I know we all love ice cream, right? Peanut butter and jelly. I mean, isn't that an American snack or what? And what about the famous hot dog? So guys, I hope that you will work with me and your family, and let's create your own recipe book. And you never know, if you want to be creative, create your own recipe and include it in your recipe book. Now we're going to get started. I hope you have all of your materials. I've got some like construction paper, ribbons, embellishments if you like to use some of those. But mine, since we are honoring Native Americans, I entitled mine Native American Recipes. And what I'm going to do, I am going to glue on here my Native American pictures, so that we know that we are honoring them. You know, it's no big deal. You just want to take your glue it on. Make sure you name your recipe book. It can be your name, or it can be a recipe that you've passed down from generations to generations from other family members. I want your recipe book to be unique, and I want you to personalize it. You know, if you don't know any traditional recipes that you would like to include, you can definitely include some of your favorite foods, just like my little friend did. And you see too, she also just drew a family on here. She didn't have pictures or anything like I did, but you can make it your own. Since we're talking about Native Americans, I did want to include some of those ingredients that we talked about, the corn, the beans, all of those ingredients that are vital to the Native American diet. And you too can include some pictures in yours as well. Now, one of the recipes I want to include in here is called the Three Sisters Stew. Now, I know that's kind of a weird name. You probably never heard of that before, but listen to this. I don't know if you can see this picture, but it is delicious. But let me tell you a little bit about the Three Sisters Stew as I glue this on here. The Three Sisters Stew is made up of beans, corn, and squash. Now, what's so remarkable about this, when they plant these vegetables, they plant them all together. And you want to know why? Because each one supports the other plant. And as they grow, they help each other make it through the growing process. And what's so cool about it, look at this picture here. Okay, imagine. The vegetables are all planted together. Then about a week or two, you come back and you plant corn kernels. Give it another week or two, you come back, you plant the beans. Now, as this process is going on, The corn stalk is growing, the beans are growing, but now the corn stalks are strong, so they're able to hold the beans. When you come back to plant the squash is not planted with the beans or the corn. You plant the squash around the mound. And you know what that does? It protects the plant from weeds and also holds in the moisture. I love that process. And as you can see here, I've got a finished product of the Three Sister Stew. This right here, I've got some cooking instructions. You can include that too, along with the ingredients, the cooking instructions, and some pictures. Now, my second recipe I want to include in here is called the Native American fry bread. Fry bread is really cool, guys. This fry bread has been passed down through many, many generations. And you know what? It's really popular with the Navajo Nation. That's where it originated. Can you imagine that? But look at here. I just glued on here my ingredients. But I want you to take a look at this picture. This fry bread is good with chili. Try it with some of that Three Sisters stew. Or you can make a taco salad out of it. This is the Native American fry bread. Now, I have another one. And I don't know if you've heard this word before or not, but it's called succotash. Now, succotash is a Native American word that means corn. And as you can see on here, I included some of the corn as well as some of the ingredients. The succotash is just made of corn and beans, but this is very popular in the Native American community. Now, remember I was telling you about your recipe book and I'm making one about Native Americans? Well, I had to include one of my favorite recipes, macaroni and cheese. And I'm sure everyone loves macaroni and cheese. So you know what, guys? Your recipe book can be whatever you want. I just want you to make it with love and compassion. I want you to think about, when you're making your recipe book, some of your favorite foods that you would like to include in it. And also, hopefully, your recipe book can be passed down through many generations as well. Okay, guys, the last step to completing your recipe book is that you want to close it up. I'm going to use some ring binders here, and I'm just going to stick it through here. Snap it. I've got 3. And we're going to put this one in. Ta-da! And there we have it, guys, your very own recipe book. Now, I want you guys to know that I appreciate your time. I thank you for your participation, and I hope your recipe book is passed down through many generations as well. Looks like this is the end of my segment, but I want you guys to know we have other crafts, so please visit online on our website. You can visit the other craft room, as well as some online learning opportunities. Thank you, guys, and take care.